Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Jeff Miller of 2049 Outfitters.
I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer. At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 6 a.m. on Saturday in Germany. We're broadcasting live from Akron, Ohio.
And Thousand Oaks, California.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
joining
joining
us.
us.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
USA.
Yep. And we'll be back in 8.3 seconds. Oh, that's my job. Yep. There we go.
We are celebrating Thanksgiving here in the USA, and we thought we'd tell you what we are thankful for. For one, I am very grateful to be better. I was quite sick for most of the past week.
Yep. And we also want to give you guys a chance to tell us what you're thankful for. In fact, Daniel already posted, I'm thankful for a return to Luna, that our return to Luna is going well so far. Yep. And I was going to be talking about that later on, but yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And Michael's here. Hi, Michael.
Welcome. So, Daniel, Michael, thanks for being here. We really appreciate that. So I want to kick it off with I'm really grateful for hundreds of ways for you to be involved in space exploration, science, and astronomy. Our show has demonstrated a few of those since September of 2020. You know, most people think that space exploration is for rich guys, the government, or something you watch on TV. Space is really for everyone. We're really, really grateful for our guests. We've had Covey and Lydia Denton on, Mike Simmons, Derek Wallentinson, Joaquin Hases Garcia, Dale Ann Springer, and Joshua Carlson this past year. Two of them were students, and one was a teacher. Two of our guests were returning from a previous, episode, and we really appreciate viewers like you.
Yep. Yeah, I'd like to thank some of our longtime viewers, Cliff Watson and David Renecki.
And Janie Becker and Dawn Jenkins, they've been returning periodically.
Yep. And Tex Picky and Alan Ford.
Also, Dan Tweet and Michael Taylor, which is fabulous because they're already here.
Yep.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah. And Cliff. Ooh, yeah, it's the middle of your summer now, isn't it, Cliff?
100. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's.
Daniel has an interesting comment there.
Yeah. Technically,
okay.
Everyday Spacer webcast instead of broadcasting.
All right, interesting.
So be thankful you don't have the FCC to deal with. Yeah.
Can we say that we're not broadcasting from?
Yeah, I don't care. Since we don't, since we're not actually broadcasting, they don't get this. FCC doesn't get to have a say in what we call it. So neither FCC.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, it's Friday night and we wanted to be here, but it is a holiday for us. So we were kind of like, we'll do some shout outs and tell people what we're grateful for, invite you to tell us what you're grateful for. And we'll have some of the regular segments. And then I think we'll wrap it up for the night because it's a holiday. And
Yep.
It's here in Ohio. It's actually after midnight.
And you've got a bunch of family that people have been dragging you out to deal with. So, okay. And one of the other things that I want to be thankful for, and Daniel already hit on this, Artemis launched and is currently in day 9 of its mission. And,
yeah, I guess it's right close to the moon now, right? Oh, yeah. It's got a serious,
Yeah.
What do they call it? Is it elliptical?
Yeah. And I just I saw a bunch of stuff on it, and I wanted to post into the comments some links from it. So here we go. And also, aside from Artemis, we've had 150 successful launches this year.
That's worldwide, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
That's pretty good
And
for a year. Not even.
37, 37 people flew into space and through October of this year. And all of them either made it back down or are still up there on mission. And
Yay.
yeah, 19 went into orbit and 18 suborbital. And those 18 suborbital were Blue Origin. And I'm going to post the links that I used to find out that info, just so that you can have them if you care. They do the links, the flights links do have tables where they show every single flight. So that, for those of you who want the info, it's, it's really good. And got something from Cliff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
thank you for your friendship and your dedication to your show.
Likewise,
Oh,
Cliff.
it's still spring. Ah, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess it would be until
Yep.
until
So
January.
the solstice, yeah.
Yeah. Well, end of
Which will be
December.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Late
23rd
December.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
22nd, 23rd.
Right.
And
Oh, and
Scott.
Scott. Oh, Scott. Scott is definitely a regular too. Thanks so much for being with us, Scott. SpaceX
Yep.
flights have been going well. Oh, yes.
Yep. In
Isn't
fact,
that wonderful?
the last 5 astronauts into space were actually carried up to ISS on a SpaceX flight. So yeah, it looks like SpaceX has become part of that industry. So that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's amazing and wonderful.
Yeah.
I had a thought. I don't
Go for it.
remember what it is now.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you want to keep talking to us? Great. If not, we'll do the rest of the show and we'll wrap it up. And we'll see you next week, which we have a guest next week. So
Yeah.
kind of exciting. We always
Actually,
like to have a guest.
we have a guest the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, next 2 weeks.
Different guests.
Right. Yes, right.
2 weeks in a row. Okay. I'm going to give the stellar events this week, but if anyone, and we'll just talk. And wow, did that rocket go? Yeah.
Oh, you're referring to Artemis?
Yeah. I'm
Well,
pretty
it's
sure.
a big rocket. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically a Saturn level rocket.
Yeah. And what did the Saturn have? Like 1,000,000 pounds of thrust or something?
It was ridiculous. And Daniel says, cosmonauts on ISS are
Well,
peaceful so
they
far.
depend on each other's survival. I'm sure they
Yeah.
have no reason to be anything but.
Yeah. I think that the everyday person is not as invested in the actions of political leaders.
Right.
That's my thought. That's how it's always. I mean, even as during the Cold War, guys in space were fairly cooperative. So
Yeah.
supposedly, I didn't know that. I'll have to look. Might have been a little bit more
Oh,
powerful.
from Artemis?
Yeah, might have been.
I think there was some, but
Yeah.
it wasn't major. I mean, every launch is going to have an effect on the launch pad.
All right.
Some bigger
Yes.
than others.
Not like they blew chunks out of the concrete, but I think they
Yeah.
damaged some stuff. But,
Hey, here's Dave. Good.
hey, Dave.
Well, it's a private company. If someone owns Twitter, you should- what it's like any other company. He's going to run it how he's going to run it.
And I think Elon makes a lot of noise and a lot of commotion, but he basically made private launch companies a part of the industry, not just NASA picks. So that's
Yeah.
good on that front. Now he's got Twitter and is undoing some of the censorship on it. So, I don't know what else he's doing. There's a lot of rumors about what he's doing, and he likes to be a troll. So I don't know how many of those rumors that he started are actually things that he's planning on doing. So he likes to, I think, just watch the fur fly sometimes. So we'll see what actually happens. Watch
And
the actions, not the words.
another master at marketing. I mean, he knows how to get
Yeah.
attention.
Yep.
There's various ways to go about everything.
Yep.
And that's what he does for that one.
Yeah. On
Oh,
our trip to the U.S., Cliff and I actually stood under the exhaust area of the SLS
yeah,
launch
cool.
gantry under construction. Yep.
Yeah, was that in Florida, Dave?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Yeah, he was like Kennedy.
Yeah. So that was a good trip.
Yeah.
We got another one coming, 2024.
Yep.
Not too early to start making plans.
Yep. That one should actually have people on it too.
I'm talking about Eclipse, Jeff.
Oh, Eclipse. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought you were talking about the next Artemis mission. Oh, 2 elevator doors got blown in.
Okay.
Okay. Well, guess they need to rework those, don't they?
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. That's pretty major then. Okay.
Well, no one was on the elevators at the time. They
Yeah.
just need to either beef them up or get them out of the way, or consider them disposables. Oh, Daniel, I think Twitter maybe is practicing for Mars colony governance. Don't know.
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah. He seems pretty libertarian to me, and a libertarian wants to take over the world and then leave everyone alone. I wish someone would hold a national I like Elon Day.
Dave, you could start that.
I'm just wondering, Dave, are you thinking of the old I like Ike buttons that we used to have in the 50s? I'm just wondering.
He might be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got blown in, not go blown in. Yeah. We got what you were saying, Cliff.
Cool. We're both doing good.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. Oh, June 28th. Okay. What's
June 28th?
His birthday. Oh,
Elon's,
I'm assuming. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no wonder he's so crabby.
June
28th, Cancer.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because my mom's a Cancer.
I see.
David, question from the ranks down under. Why do you American people have 2 competing space programs, both working in concert with each other and both with the same ideals?
Because that's how we roll. Well, if you're talking about like NASA, on the one hand, NASA's kind of supposed to do the things that industry can't yet. They're sort of the vanguard of things to, consider when it is commercially viable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think that they do a great job at that sometimes, because I know of a bunch of programs that would start up as commercial, and then somebody at NASA must have gotten the bright idea of, well, we could do that. Of course, what happens then is it undercuts the business. It's one of my pet peeves with NASA. They generally are pretty bad at doing that, and it's like, yeah, leave that stuff to the commercial side, and you do things that are too hard for, too risky for commercial endeavors, because basically commercial endeavors aren't about risk. They say they are, but the more they can mitigate the risk, the better.
Right.
for so many reasons. Anyway, you got some more comments. I saw that. So that's part of it, Dave. I mean, that's in my mind, that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah,
Doesn't
the
always.
thing that makes NASA an unfair advantage is, of course, it's taxpayer supported, and so they're spending taxpayer dollars to undercut
Yep.
businesses that actually have to make about the bottom line. But
Yeah, that's the problem.
so Cliff says, and Dave and I got to the top of the launch tower as well. Oh well, you might have actually been walked through the elevator doors that aren't there anymore.
United Space.
United States.
Well,
Ah,
I hope it is instead of whatever it is in Mandarin, Daniel.
okay, yeah, internet's very delayed. Yeah, we've kind of come to expect that going across the Pacific for you guys.
Yeah, even Jeff and I have talked, and it's been delayed. I think it's a little bit better right now, but
Yeah, we we actually get on the show a lot earlier than the show because it seems to get better over time between the two of us. But there will be huge delays,
yeah,
but then it sorts itself out.
yeah.
Um,
Sorry about that, Cliff. With any
yeah,
luck, it will be better as time goes on.
yeah. Because I'd love to have you and Dave back on the show again sometime, but
Yes,
man,
totally.
it just doesn't work out well.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, prep for space travel.
Okay, 2049 Outfitters comes from um, the 1849 gold rush, um, and the fact that the miners weren't the ones who made the money; it was the people who sold the pots and pans and the picks and the shovels. Those are the ones who made constant money. So I actually briefly had a short company that was looking to find what do they need in space, for space travel, to see if I can provide it. And that was where 2049 Outfitters came from. Still want to do that, it just haven't done it. David, Jeffrey, do you know if those lovely NASA people have
Mm,
already selected the 3 people for Artemis 2? And if so, do we have the first lady in space?
I
You
think
know what?
there's a core. Yeah,
There's a core. They're going to pick 3 people out of that core,
yeah.
but I don't think we know what 3. Even if they've picked them, I don't think they've made it public yet.
No, I don't think so. We'll hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
we won't we won't miss that one.
yeah, they're going to make a big production out of it, I suspect.
Yeah, I mean they're not even going to launch until next year, and that's going to be with people, but they're not going to leave the capsule. They're not going to land on the moon. They're
No.
just going to go around and come back.
Yeah.
And then in 2024, the
Yeah.
crew that goes two will land and 2 will stay.
Yeah.
So what was I missed it.
Oh, that was why can't Dave go to Area 51?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, there you go.
and Daniel,
That's
high
pretty
frontier
good.
mining outfitters, very cool. Yeah, that was the idea, Daniel.
Yeah, some of the miners made money, but
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
of them.
But it was a gamble. Whereas if you were selling
Yeah.
the pots and pans, it wasn't a gamble. Video is okay. Oh, well, that's good at least.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You want to
Well,
do
so,
this?
so I'll give the seller events and then you guys keep doing this.
Yeah.
The world is wondering, does
Oh,
Miss Pamela have influenza or smoker's cough? Are you feeling a little off
I've
color?
been I've been actually pretty sick since last Saturday. Yeah, just in bed. Nothing like serious. No energy. So I laid in
Yeah,
bed for
although you're
days.
doing much better today. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were doing better yesterday, too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Slowly
Well,
recovering.
yep. Okay. Some stellar events this week, November 25th through December 2nd. And by the way, Dave, my cough is asthma cough. It just means I'm breathing. November 25th through 27th, Andromeda meteor shower peaks are after midnight. It'll be 5 per hour. The source is Biela, Biela,
Biela.
Biela, and it radiates from it. They don't say, but it's the Andromeda meteor shower, so I'm going to guess Andromeda.
Mm.
Um, oh, and just need 1,700 bucks to get Musk's Starlink. Ah, yep, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, because yep. Then you don't have to worry about wire delay. You just have to worry about the fact that
mm.
it's like a 3 times as long trip, which as long as you're not Twitch gaming, probably won't matter. And David and folks,
No, it's water. Jeez. I'm having enough trouble, Dave. Just water. Strictly
can you
water.
imagine, David?
It'd just be silly.
Yeah. Okay, November 25th. The moon is only 2 days past the new moon, and should be a good night for viewing the meteor shower. So,
If it's clear and dark.
yeah, that's tonight for us. Yesterday for you, but should I mean it's still peaking for the next couple of days. So
Yeah.
tonight in Australia ought to be pretty good. Um, on the 27th, Pluto and the Moon are in conjunction, one of which you'll see. Um, unless, of course, Pluto occults the Moon, in which case we have big problems. Yeah, and it'll be big if that in that case. It'd be really close. On the 28th, Saturn and the Moon are in conjunction. Yeah, digging all that snow to get out, Pam. Well, it
No
snowed.
snow.
Yeah,
No
it
snow.
snowed a few times, but I don't think it's stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, turns white, then goes away.
Yeah.
On November 30th, weekly space hangout with Pam, and it's a
With any
newsroom.
luck whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah. She'll just be 2 days into the new place, so hopefully she'll have everything worked out by then.
This is the plan.
Yeah. And on the 30th, it's the last quarter moon, and also Mars is at its closest approach. So if you want to throw a rock at it, the 30th is when to do it.
You know, we haven't launched this cycle. You know, usually it's
No,
every couple of years we're launching stuff, but
yeah.
I don't know why we missed this one.
Probably
I
just
don't think anybody in the world did anything for this one, did
yeah.
we?
Not that I know of, but we've
Yeah.
already got something going there. They probably didn't want to overshadow it or,
Yeah.
spend the extra budget. They're already monitoring one thing.
Mm.
They might
Could be.
not want to budget monitoring two things.
Mm.
Um, on December 2nd is Friday night show, and we have a guest. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel.
So we've got some other events and activities ongoing. You may recall when we had Joaquin, who was our first student guest. He mentioned some competitions. Now the one has closed out. And we looked, but there weren't any ones that were opening yet. So we're going to look for those probably early next year. Those Science Talent Search, International Science and Engineering Fair, Broadcom Masters Affiliated Fair Network, and what is that, societyforscience.org, Jeff, on there?
Yes, yeah.
That's kind of where you'll find something about all of those. Space Prize has a speaker series. They're not creating new ones yet, but they do have archived shows. And actually, he's the guy who's behind that will be one of our guests pretty soon.
And I'll YouTube that too.
Cool. And the fifth round.
Not YouTube, but but post that. Oh, and Cliff has something else. Hypostases will make anyone laugh. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you speak funny for one thing.
Oh, thanks, Pam. That helps a whole lot.
The fifth round for Nominate a Student with Perseverance opened on November the 21st. It closes December 19th, and the awards will be announced on January 21st, 2023. Just to remind you, that's 6th through 8th grade students in the U.S. Public, private, or home schools are eligible, and there's some pretty cool prices.
Yep. And so if you or someone you know has done something involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, December 2nd, for Rob Watson, who I
And I'll be
met
moving
at.
to my daughter's house over the weekend.
Yep.
I will be appearing in a different place next Friday.
Yep. And yeah, just so you know, I met Rob Watson at the symposium that we've been promoting for a long time. And then it was just earlier this month, and got our two guests from there. So um,
Yeah.
also, so on the December 9th will be Mark Wagner.
Hmm.
And then on the 30th, we'll have Everyday Spacer review show um, 2022.
And you remember last year what we did was we looked at all the folks who went into space on their own dime or as a sponsorship thing. Not paid astronauts, not paid cosmonauts. Government um, paid people. We're talking about folks like you and I who at some point might be able to go. Because, I mean, think about this. Once upon a time, airplanes were for the kind of crazy barnstormer folks that, were okay with being daredevils and taking a lot of risk. And then it rolled into people that had a lot of money and wanted to pay to go. And then can most of us take an airplane ride now? Yeah. So there's some parallels you can draw between airline and space liner, actually. I think I saw another.
Yeah, David has a couple. Jeff, is this Artemis program a make or break for the U.S.? If a major issue should arrive, I mean, serious, do you think it would be followed up with a rebuild like the loss of
Mm,
the first shuttle? Um, I think it might be a make or break for NASA's programs.
yeah,
But with Elon getting into the business and making his heavy launch vehicle,
yeah.
you know, basically, I think we're in the moon race, whether NASA's there or not. I think that this was, quite frankly, I think the Artemis is NASA playing catch up um, against
Mm,
Elon Musk, um, and then or or just giving up in channeling efforts into Musk's program. I don't think NASA will channel efforts into Musk's. I think he's going to have to carve out his own path because NASA. I don't think NASA wants to give up the moon. Um, my friend Mark at the Space Museum said there's been over 50 launches this year.
yeah, and
Oh,
you
yeah, 150 successful launches. There were a total of 156 launches, but four of them had really bad issues, and one of them had some
oh,
minor issues.
and that's worldwide, right, Jeff? You
Yeah,
you counted everything from the whole
yeah,
world. Okay. Oh,
yeah.
you got
That was what was in those articles that I posted into the comments. Um, Daniel says Elon could do much more with the Artemis budget. Yes, that's kind of the whole point. Um,
well, you kind of have to understand how some of the space stuff works too. It's sort of a jobs program for different.
yeah,
If you want to get them from all the states and all the senators want to have a piece of.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very political.
Basically, you'll know which senators are involved in the appropriations committee for NASA by seeing where things are being built for NASA.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
Cliff, looking forward to that show. Oh, cool with the guest. Yeah, wow, that's a bit of a delay there, Cliff. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well, you know what? Practice for space travel.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, at least it's not 17 minutes like it would be going to Mars.
Yeah. And anywhere else is even worse.
Hmm. Oh,
Anything
the moon's
further.
only a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything further is even worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just think of when we get to the asteroid belt.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. Wow.
then it's essentially postal service with radio waves.
Unless we can figure out that whole Ansible thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that quantum entanglement will ever be that useful. hey, but it's possible. But when you need basically a room-sized piece of equipment for a couple bits, and the
Mm,
fact that they tend to lose entanglement as soon as you switch them, it's more of a
yeah.
alarm than it is a communication.
Mm.
Um, but who knows? That might change.
We've overcome a lot of other problems in the
Yep.
past too. So,
Yeah. Does every
but,
state get space funding? No.
yeah, they try. I think.
Yeah. Basically, everyone on the um, budgetary commission gets space
Oh,
funding. But I mean, North Dakota. Where's the space industry in North Dakota? There isn't. Because why? They're not important enough to get on the budget committee, and therefore they don't get anything carved out for them. Um, so that's the way that politics works.
yeah.
So
So, thanks so much for being with us, everybody. Cliff and Dave and Scott and Daniel and who else did we have in here? Mm-hmm.
Michael is, piped up. Hope he's still with us, but he piped up
It's
early.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We really love you being here, and we really love helping you out and answering questions. So
yeah.
keep us
and we'll get back,
in mind.
and we'll get back to family this weekend. So we'll wrap it up a little bit early, folks.
Yeah,
Good
I
night.
think I saw another one. You want to?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Oh, Daniel says 44 of 50 states
Oh, he looks
get
okay.
a little piece of the.
That's quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess they do spread it out as much as they can, but I suspect that a good chunk of those 44 states get like something token, some token piece of it. But hey, it keeps
I
them.
like it because the whole country has vested interest in space
Yeah,
exploration. Oh,
yeah. I'm
Dave.
led to believe the Artemis capsule has 2 dummies aboard. Yes.
Mhm.
One experiment, I believe, is to have a radiation shield apron on to test female vulnerability during pregnancy
Oh,
on moon missions.
I didn't
Huh.
know that.
Yeah. I didn't know that either. I did know that they were putting dummies in there.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're like crash test dummies with sensors um, for motion and stuff like that to make sure that they don't go too many G's at once or that sort of thing.
That was three.
And
Oh,
3. Yeah. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 dummies. I know that there's room in the capsule for 3. I don't know if they've loaded it up or not.
Yeah. Do we know how many seats total? I've heard, the next two launches will have 4 people each, but I don't know if that's the max for
Yeah.
the capsule.
Yeah. I heard 5, but
Hmm.
again, there's a lot of numbers thrown out, and until they actually do it, we
Yeah.
won't know.
3 confirmed. Okay.
Confirmed. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
So,
Well, people, have a really great week.
yep. Good night, folks.
We'll see you then. Bye.
Yep. Bye.